Hello, everybody. So, yesterday I went to Dreamers Roseville and won the local tournament over there. Wanted to showcase the deck that I played. A lot of people are going to be surprised that I went back to this deck because for a while I was on Dragon Link and I said I was going to stay there for a bit. But we're on Branded Despia. Card count is 50. You guys are going to see why in a second. But let's get it started. First, we're going to do Tuquem. Tuquem, I think at least having one is mandatory. Two or three is fine, depending on the strategy that you want for the deck. It's not very linear is the thing. So for the branded strategy, you have to really figure out where you're gonna play and how you want to prepare for that. But anyways, we're gonna do two Cartesia, three Albaz, and three Luber. So, Albaz at 3 is mandatory. Cartesia, you could play her at 3. My issue with it is that with both Cartesia or Quam at 3, you see them as a normal summon more often. Some people prefer Quam as the normal summon and Luber as the opening target. But I think having either or, depending on the situation, is fine. Adaptability is the way that I like to go about a lot of my duels. If I don't have one strategy, I'll go for the other. If I don't have the other, then we'll just go back to the basics. Whatever the case may be, we just play. Uh, we have one Albion, one Tragedy, and then Mercurier as the branded hand trap, the secret tech, Spriggan's Kit. Well, not necessarily secret tech, but tech that I decided to put in. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to play anything else because I didn't want to play the deck at 49. Um, the reason I play the deck at 50 is for the fact that at 40 you run into a lot of you run into the cards you don't want to see more often. And with that in mind, I figured, okay, why not play 50 cards to allow us to search certain engine and for us to have other tech, that being stuff like Spriggan's Kit, allowing us to recycle. There's a card maybe you don't want in your hand and you need it out. Spriggan's Kit allows you to do that. It also helps with Bandit and High Spirits because you have a monster in the graveyard that mentions Albaz, and then when it's there, you could just special summon Kit, so you don't have to waste a normal summon. Pretty simple tech that can help you win games. It wasn't really a game changer for wins, but it was definitely a game changer in terms of strategy. We have our Sanctifier targets, Dark Magician, Gimmick Puppet. Sanctifier targets because you can summon Albaz with either of them. You go Lubellion or Dark Dragoon. Easy tech. Nothing too complicated. We have our Bestial package. There's one Lubellion for the Lost, one Saronir in case of Voiceless, but also to set up Lost. We're playing 4 hand traps, 2 Ash, 2 Nib. The mindset about the hand traps is you don't really want to play too much, but then the chances that you do want to play hand traps, you want to see at least one or two of them. For Branded, it is very hard to run hand traps. I shuffled through a lot of lists before I came up with this one. My issue with the other lists, right? Because we had my for fun list, which got me back into the deck. It was basically a 50 card deck with a ton of gas, strange amount of gas, but no lock, with a ton of hand traps. My gripe was bricking, and one of the bricks were the hand traps for sure. My thing with the format this season is the fact that like Ash is kind of hard against the fire matchup. You use Ash to get Hita, and it's a little frustrating. Um, especially because you can't play Drometers as frequently because Drometers can become a brick. But Drometers has that very fancy effect to negate extra to negate a monster effect if a extra deck monster is summoned. Um, other thing to mention is that Nibiru over Droll was a pretty tough decision because I figured okay maybe two Ash, two Bell, but Nib was the most successful. Not only with setting up for other people, such as Fire King's Voiceless or whatnot, but it's just an option period. Um, to not only set up your hand traps, but also to set up Branded Fusion, because sometimes you don't have that light target. And then you out resource yourself, and then you just have the one nib to set up Albion, and that's kind of what you need to win the game sometimes. Uh, but more of the tech, four hand traps, two of each for at least this build. Next we have the Frankfurt engine, so two Edge Imp, two Patchwork, two Poly, flexing that OG Poly, even though it's from Hidden Arsenal. Don't judge me. Patchwork engine helps a lot to set up Lost. So you have Lost, and then you need a way to just search without interruption, and then there you are. They have Droll. Oh, that's perfectly fine. You just search Mercurial for Lost. They wanna Droll isn't too much of a problem though. For as long as you get Ash through, then you just gimmick lock them. But besides that, it's very simple tech. It's nothing too absurdly crazy. You just summon an Albaz Fusion a lot easier. Even if you don't, you set up other cards like Quertus or even Grangle. Because you don't want to have a dead Cartesia, but you want to bait the Imperm, right? Because a lot of people like to Imperm Cartesia because they're like, oh, Cartesia can avoid Imperm easily. We want to wait for that effect, and then we Imperm the effect. Then you're like, all right, cool. Polymerization, fuse, and then it works perfectly well. Um, but besides that, it's nothing too crazy. Polymerization, I guess, also adds extra layer of protection for Guardian Chimera to get to the basic branded stuff. 3 fusion, 3 opening, 1 red, 1 lost, 1 branded in high spirits for the extra search, 1 retribution, 2 thrust, 2 talents, 3 deployment, 1 duplication for the thrust target, called by for the Ash, and then 3 super poly. To go over the side, we have 3 Droll, 3 Bell, the third hand traps, 3 Droplet, barrier for thrust, and then our other thrust targets. I've always debated hand traps over board breakers. I think having both is fine. Everything is very situational, so you just really have to test out the locals and then see what you want to prepare for. Obviously, things might change a bit when we go to regionals. That'll be regionals at Milwaukee. Extra deck. 1 Sanctifier for the gimmick lock. Titanic Lad for the search, or sometimes the interesting tech to summon. Rinbrum for flu, or just to get rid of the extra deck effects. Grangle for Dragoon or Gimmick Puppet. Lubellion. 2 Albion. 2 Mirror Jade. Super Poly targets. Quertus. Dragoon. Chimera. And then Lulu. That's basically all for the branded profile. Hopefully soon I get to showcase the deck and kind of show the tech a little bit, but besides that, that should be all. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys stay tuned to the upcoming content. And yeah, have a good day.